Uh, the new mechanics are here, and I think it's going well so far. Just need to make sure we get started over here. Gonna make some announcement. Now, I don't know how much more development we're gonna do on this today. I think we did some of the major stuff already. Excuse me. So I'm not too worried about it, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Discord. And then we'll get started right on over here. Okay. Oh man, hopefully we don't do anything that'll crash my computer like last time. I had to bend in good number of viewers because, you know, I ended up crashing with my light setting. Hey Saranami, welcome. We're just getting started here. Stream viewer. Oh. Viewer. Going live now. Twitch link is one of these. And then YouTube link is one of these. Nice. Yes, it is indeed nice. We got a few things going on with our berry folk. Yesterday, we implemented this the crown thing. You can see I have 3 crowns on me. So now if you kick someone with a crown, you get to steal their top crown, their highest crown, and you get a default shiny, what do you call? Default shiny retrieval rate. So if you have a crown, you get a chance to get a shiny, essentially. The Softbox Gamer says, hi Ezra, hi Softbox, welcome. We're just getting started. Void, first, not quite first, but first is still claimable. Nice, too bad first doesn't do anything yet. I wonder what it should do. I feel like it should do something. Serenum is like, first. Okay, I do definitely need to make a second. Voice says, hi Ezra, hi Strawberry folks. Well, you are indeed first, so should be good here. First. It's the actual first, but then this is a claimed first. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so I think all of this is good. We have a kick to steal little mini game, which works, I think, okay. I do think we're talking about what do you call? We were talking about stunning by sending out your Hadoukens. The first doesn't get any benefit except the little finger. Ooh, you got the squat berry, a big one. If you do lurk, you get to do squats on them. Okay. Is it finally time to implement the wheel? I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the wheel just yet. Or like what's the combat? There should be some sort of combat, right? Voice says, see you in a few minutes. All right, I'll see you. We're just kind of figuring things out here. All kinds of redemptions. Well, great timing since I'm about to lurk. Great. Yeah, no problem, Saranami. Oh, look at you. Look at you squatting. Very cute. But yeah, okay. I mean, I guess it's time to get the slug. I suppose. I still need to think about some of the more activity thing. I'm staring at this screen because I'm like, what can I do? What can I add to it? Only thing is that my face covers a lot of this like right column. So I got to be careful what I put in there. Like not everything here is accessible. Let's see. What does that look like? I guess my hair does blend in with the background here. Maybe I need to keep it not just solid black color as a background. Maybe it can be something else. Let's see. Background. Transparent background is on. What does transparent mean in this context? I guess it's not transparent then. Oh, I guess it's transparent because, okay. How about, maybe I could put color rect right on this column at the bottom. So let's see. So if I have a color rect, and let's say it is, I don't know, something like this. Something that doesn't clash, hopefully. And then I bring this over. Say layout, top right. And then make it this big. I do think that it needs to be in front of all this, right? I thought this was in front. Why is this? What if I bring it down here? No. Okay. Seems like the Z order, the sky is always behind. I think this one needs to be even more behind. Let's see. Ordering, make it like -1. There you go. A little better. I think that feels okay. Let's see what that looks like. I mean, I think it's okay. It's not terrible. Could be better, but it's not bad. Hey, Courage. Okay. I don't know why it keeps asking me to load from the disk. Mikuri says, hello, Mr. Codeman. Hello. I guess that means, let's see. Should I make a computer berry? What does that even look like? Mikuri says, it's my own programming take on Hello, Mr. Postman. I see. Clever, clever. Well, welcome, everyone. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck on what to add onto this. Jump works. We have a jump command now. And then you can jump on platforms. You can kick people to steal their crown for shiny chance. I do wonder if there needs to be a little bit of a jump quest. Only thing about making a jump platform in the game itself or in the overlay is that it can get pretty messy, I think, in terms of stream. Here, let me see. Where would I put it even? Like on my shoulder? Should I put it like right here? And then have one right there. Because I really am trying to be cautious of it getting into the screen. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay. How about this? Let me see if I can get oh, thanks for the hydrate. Mikuri says, why is my character on a sugar high? Yeah, we made some changes. Now fake berries just hop the entire time. Let's see if I can. Oh, Saranami stopped lurking. Is it because Saranami got kicked? Oh. Okay, that's kind of a bug, isn't it? They should remain lurking if they're kicked. Yeah, somebody kicked you and you got up. I'm going to have to fix that. It used to be the other way around, but all right. what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put more platforms down. I'm thinking maybe there's some reward at the top of the platform. That could be a little fun game. Not really sure how far the berries can actually jump. So we'll find out. Let's see. So if we do this, would that be covered? Is this covered by my shoulder? What does it look like? Okay, no, it's barely there, but it's there. Uh-huh. And then you can technically try to climb my shoulder, I guess, by doing that. Let's see. Put one more here, maybe? I wonder if this is actually climbable. Game has not been balanced. Okay. Oh, it's hidden. You can't see it. I guess I do need to bring it out a little bit. I don't know if this is actually doable. This seems very difficult. Maybe it needs to be over here. Maybe perfectly aligned with the border. Somehow. And then one more, I think, is appropriate, probably. Like right here. Yeah. All right, everyone. Now you can be on top of my head. Kind of. You can be like right above it. I don't know if you can see it. I wonder if there should be an item that you can get that activates the free booster pack. Yalv says, hey, I talked with my father about getting a laptop because I love developing and pixel art. He had a Windows 10 Asus with AMD E1 and gave it to me. I just started my 2D platform project and it's fine. Oh, that's great. Congrats. I'm glad you were able to get a computer for it. That's exciting. I'm sure you'll go far with it. Okay. I'm going to try to land on this platform myself and see if I can get there. You can come get me. Oh, hold on. Change berry. I think I'm going to have to change to fastberry here. Jump. And then get jump. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I missed that. Huh, it's not very forgiving. Oh, got it. I got it. Nice. Oh, Karisti. Am I saying that right? Karisti. The way to get the berries are by redeeming a channel point called plant berry seeds. Then you get a little plant, and then you can water the plant 9 times. Then you get one of the random berries from the pool, availability pool. Right now, they're all kind of out. We only have 1 Godot berry, 1 dice berry left, and 1 squat berry. And then, of course, infinite amount of normal berries. But yeah, you can get your little plant. Try it. Try redeeming plant berry folk seed and then water them if you like to. I'm going to try to get up there now. Let's see if I can do it. Change berry. Oh no, this is actually really hard. Oh, nice. Okay. Okay. Actually, it's not that bad. Oh, that's impossible. I did it. Oh my gosh, I'm here. Nice. I don't think anybody can get up here because of the delay. A stream delay, right? Here. Change berry. Change berry. What have I turned to? Okay, let's go Dillberry a little bit slower. Yelp says, yeah, thank you so much again. Yeah, no problem. I mean, I don't know if we really helped, but I'm glad. I'm glad either way that you felt helped. Okay. Wait, why is Diceberry squatting so much? We gotta fix Diceberry here. Sit. There you go. Weird. This one as well. Shouldn't be looping. I guess I never fixed it. Nobody has a shiny dice, huh? Well, I have a lot. I guess I should probably start returning some of these. I'll return the wizard. Change berry. Change berry. Change berry. Return one blueberry. Change berry. Berry folk. There you go. Okay. We're in a good spot, I think. All right. And then I guess I could technically test redemption here real quick. Because I think it should be very likely that I get a shiny. That's 60%. Ugh. Return. How did you get up there? By jumping. There's a jump command. You just got to jump. And every time you jump, I don't know if it's a bug. Oh, okay. I guess not. So far, the best strategy I found is starting out as Barry Allen. I'm going to try to get up there again. I mean, there has to be a better way to control this. I'm not really sure what I can do. Just gonna jump. Oh, no. Maybe I need to copy and paste jump. Am I gonna be banned by my own chat mod, auto mod, for spamming? There you go. Ah! Void says you can add direction and force. Should that be a control? It's gonna be a little bit complicated though. Jump left 200. What's the limit? We're gonna work with this difficulty currently. I don't want to be I don't want to make it too controllable. Ball City says, "Hello, my favorite finance streamer." Finance streamer? That's what I am now. Hello, Ball City. Wait, did I talk about finance the other day? Ah, almost. Yay, I made it. Oh my gosh, that was so close. Oh no. Okay. Definitely there needs to be some sort of reward when you get up top, I think. Not sure what. Oh my gosh. Jeez. I'm frustrated by my own. Wait, Ball City, you don't have a berry? No, I never tried Closure Script. Not sure about limit. Wait, I messed as giving financial advice. Dang it. Don't take my financial advice. That's the lesson. Don't trust anything I say. Oh man, Godot Berry is a little bit too slow. Okay, hold on. Barry Allen, come on. Jump. Oh. Jump. Okay, here you go. Come on. Come back. Okay. I'm almost there. No. Wrong direction. It's actually pretty hard. I don't know if you guys will actually be able to do this at all. I wonder if there's a way to help figure out how much delay you guys have so you can time it better, like latency per character somehow. Ball City says, might interest you in exploring Lisp like Closure Script? Sure. I mean, the thing is, there's rarely a need for me to, use a script like that, just because I do mostly, Godot content. What are you using it for? What is it? Oh. Oh no. Okay, I think I might have to be normal berry here. Sorry for spamming the chat, guys. I need to get up on that platform. Technically, I guess I could have made it so that it's not a chat command, but like I can actually manually control it from my game or my computer instead, so it's easier. Much work. Too much work. We ball in Y. What? I don't know what you're saying, Void. Oh no, please. Oh gosh. This is like actually a rage game. No way. Hey, Silent Noob. Says, yo, I'm back. I want to complain. What are you complaining about? Ugh, okay. Guys, I don't know how to get up there. I think I might need to change the walk cycle to be longer. What do you think? Oh, Silent Noob says, where's part 2 of the bullet hell? Fine, I'll make it this week, okay? It's tricky because sometimes I'm like, well, I did this, I did that. I did a bunch of lesson, like chapter 1 tutorial at the same time in hopes that I can figure out which one people want the most. So I was going with whatever had the best. So that's why the bullet hell one was kind of lagging behind, but I'm so sorry. So I guess there is an audience for it. Nobody said anything, so I couldn't tell. All right, Silent Noob. So you want the bullet hell. I'll give you the bullet hell. I mean, technically, I have more knowledge now, right? Because I've actually made the bullet hell for the other one. Okay, I gotta admit, getting up top here is really difficult. I'm trying to see if there's a way to indicate... I don't know if there's a way to like indicate the timing of the jump so that you don't have to like worry about the latency too much. Not really sure if there's a way to do that. We'll see. Silent Noob says, let's go. Yes. That's why you gotta like leave comments and be like, hey, I need next part. Voice eating and typing with left hand. Very skillful, very skillful. Let's see. What can we do here? Speaking of financial advice, let me see what's happening here. Oh, I've been logged out of my account. Okay. I do feel like there needs to be more control, but we'll see. Ooh, Void has the fancy Barry Allen. Hi, Cooley. Welcome. Oh, Cooley just spawned on top of the platform. I'm going to have to kick you. Almost. No, I'm too tiny. Get ready. Cooley, get ready to be kicked. I don't want you on top of my platform. Ah! Ah! No, wrong way. Get off my platform. Okay, hold on. I got it. Maybe the force needs to be a little bit stronger. Hi. Okay, I'm gonna increase the kick strength here per size. It's not strong enough, I feel. Kick strength. So kick power multiplier is here. At base is this. I think maybe we want more horizontal force here. So we'll do horizontal here. Like so. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, wrong one. There it is. Did I just force Excel to spawn? Nice. I got you guys. Yeah. There you go. Whee. Yeah, exactly. All right. What else? Rock, paper, scissors. How about this? I don't know how I'm going to explain all this, though. Okay, I was thinking maybe depending on which berry you have out. Like, so for example, just think about rock, paper, scissors. The Silent Noob says, can you spare me your ear and be my mentor? Jippity? I don't know what Jippity means. I mean, depends. I mean, I have time. That's why I'm here. So you can ask questions. But not guaranteed to have answers for you. Let's see. Oh, the Jippity. That's right. Mentor Jippity. I remember now. That's what we're going to call it from now on. I can glaze you like GPT. That's a wonderful question. I think you have a very keen understanding of what this is. You are having a great starting point. That there's a GPT chat pattern where they go, blah, 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 but not only that, blah, 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 or something like that, right? That's how they speak all the time. Okay, so hear me out. I was saying, like, think about rock, paper, scissors. And let's say Godotberry only does rock, or Wiseberry does paper and scissors. And so it's like, it's still random, but depending on who you pick, you have a chance of countering something, right? So in that sense, you don't have to interact a lot. You just need to choose which berry to go with. If we're thinking about rock, paper, scissors specifically, right? Now, of course, it's not going to be rock, paper, scissors, but that's the idea. I kind of want to know how that feels. I just don't feel like there's enough reward to go around, maybe. Unless there's like a ranking somehow. I don't know where I'm going to put the ranking. I guess I could reduce the font of this. Make this smaller. I mean, it's pretty big. I do think that I can make it smaller. But yeah. Voice says indeed. Yeah. Because that would make it so that you don't have to like react as much. You just kind of choose before it happens. And if you win, I mean, you get nothing. You just get a bragging right, I guess. Let's see if I can make this. I mean, this is already pretty low resolution, it seems. Not sure if I can make this any smaller. Though I do feel like I can make... Okay. Let's see if I can make this width be different. I'm sure there's a minimum size somewhere that's determining what the width is. Minimum. Let's see. Oh, this one is definitely deciding that 120. How bad is 120? It's really big, actually. I think I can afford to make it like 100. Oh, that's height. 300. Right? Could even be half of that. Almost. What if it's like 250? And then I set the size. Size 368, this one. I wonder why it's frozen to 368. We can, did I decide this? How about this? 400. Okay, that's not bad. I could lower it even more. 20. Oh, that's the closest it can get. Let's see. Manual movement here. That doesn't look bad. Oops. Okay. Let's see. Platforms up here. We got, I mean, that's as much space as we can take, I think. Not sure where I'm going to put the ranking. There's really not enough space out here, huh? I mean, maybe above my head, but that's for redeem. I'm not sure. Unless the game mode starts somehow, and then it's like overlay completely. Silent Noob says, okay, I'm having issues with the Brackeys game jam, and I need your big brain to explain in theory how I can add knockback and how I can use my area 3Ds as hitboxes. It's 2.5D game. Well, I would think that the area works the same way, so you can do overlap. I don't know. I don't think you overscoped, though. Hitbox detection, you can either do body entered signal, right? Or body exited signal and collect all the ones that are being hit. Or under process, just like the kicks here, you can do area.get overlapping areas or bodies. If you do overlapping area, you got to make sure you get the parent, because that's going to be the body, right? That the area belongs to. And then do some filtering there. This is if you're doing it during process. If you're doing it as signal, obviously you have the body entered or area shape entered or area entered. So you can use that, I think. What else? The knockback. Depending on what you're doing, but basically you will have to do some sort of velocity manipulation if it is character body. So if you're using 3D character body somehow, and the way that you move 3D body is through move and slide as well, right? So you're going to have to do velocity plus equals blah and do it only once. Apply that once if you have physics. If you're a rigid body, if you want to knock those back, rigid body is a little bit different. Rigid body, there's literally a course, or what do you call? For rigid body, there's literally a function called apply force, I think. Yeah. So if you look at it here, the method, there's apply central force. So that's how you would apply it. But you're relying on the physics engine to take care of everything. If you're doing character body 3D instead, then, oops, I didn't mean to add that. Look at the documentation here. The kinematic seems like it's exactly the same. Move and slide. So that means you want to change the velocity of this character in order for it to move in a certain direction. So basically the same as 2D. You just need to make sure the direction. So okay, that's probably the difficult part. To figure out the velocity, like the direction vector of 3D or 2D, it doesn't matter, is by doing one of these, right? So when I'm doing the kicking here, which is basically a knockback, I have a calculation where I apply a force in a direction, which is a vector, pointing towards where it should go, the knockback direction, times the power of the knockback, right? And this direction, for me, is determined by taking there's a vector math. So for example, if you have a vector 2 or vector 3, doesn't matter. They have a function called direction 2. So vector dot direction to a target. So what you would do is you take the position of the character that's doing the knockback and get the position, but global position, of the target position, like the target that's being kicked or being pushed back, and call the direction 2. Then it'll give you a vector, 3D vector for 3D cases, that gives you which way the character should move. And you take that, and it's normalized already, so it's meaning its distance is 1. You can multiply that vector by any power to kick it a certain amount, knock it back a certain amount. At least that's that's how I would do it. Did you overscope? I'm not really sure. It really depends on what the Godot document says. Because Godot document also has a getting started for 3D part. And I wonder how much it explains it. If your mechanic is within this 3D game, then obviously it's not like that bad. It seems like it does a lot. Look. It looks like it handles movement, it handles spawning, and it handles collision, like, and a little bounce. You see the little bounce? So it seems like this 3D game would be a pretty good starting point. It doesn't seem like what you want to do. Probably is not overscope. Though I guess you are doing 2.5D, which is a bit tricky. I've never tried 2.5D, so who knows? But I also never tried 3D either. So yeah, tough stuff. Okay, that's that though. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking that it would be fun to make A webtoon. Obviously, probably not here, but that was in my head because, obviously I'm also doing like art nowadays. I do feel like I've gotten better. And I was thinking about that other game idea that we're talking about before of like some sort of like an artist becoming a musician type of like game. Though I don't know what that would look like. So maybe it can be in relation to that. I am also taking like inspiration from like I do believe Omori was made by an artist, and it was like their OCs, which became a game at the end of the day, right? I'm not really sure what the story is, but I do believe Omori had like it was an artist account first. Silent Noob says, your insights have been acknowledged. Yeah, no problem. I'm truly grateful. If I win, I shall dedicate to you. If you win, yeah, sure. Thanks. A webtoon about what? I'm not sure. You know, for me, I grew up on shonen a lot. That type of like actiony shonen stuff. So I always have that kind of like shonen or isekai fantasy, but I know it's overdone now. So I do want to do something more meaningful, but meaningful with action still. So I also started learning how to do animation on Clip Studio, and I just was interested in making some animations with that. I do want to practice. It's really interesting because it's what actually animators in Japan use most of the time, this tool itself. And learning animation by hand drawing actually helps me learn what do you call? Oh, I drew this the other day. Look how much I've improved my my painting skill since the last time I painted something. There you go. See? You want to see a time lapse? This is how I did it. Look. Dun, 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 dun. A very different technique than what I'm usually using. But obviously I can't make a comic or webtoon in this style. It's too much work. Little risque too. Voice says, I use Krita. Krita is free. Clip Studio is really good though. I like it. I haven't regretted purchasing it once. Just because it's also very cheap. Yeah. Anyways, so maybe we'll have a little bit of our session here. I don't know. Maybe we could come up with a story. What are people into these days? Does anyone watch what is everyone watching like an anime or reading a manga or reading a manhwa on like webtoon and stuff out here? You don't have to tell me too much, but I would like to know what people are reading these days. Silent Noob says Sam does art type style. Oh, I know about Sam does art. Yeah, kind of. Sam does art is more like semi-realism, right? So like his stuff has still like it's based on reality in terms of lighting, but the characters have like big eyes still, I think. So like, you know what's funny about internet though? If it's like pretty or dramatic, it does well, which is I always thought that was kind of funny. Silent Noob says, "How do you render? Share tips." I don't know. I'd still over render, so I'll give you an example of over rendering. So just 2 painting practice ago, so I started doing this one. This one I practiced because I was like, you know what? I want to do this like dramatic. I don't know if you guys know Yuming Lee Arts. So I was trying to steal Yuming Lee Arts style a little bit, not steal but study. I like this like purple stuff. And then I was like, okay, well, I have a high contrast now where they barely render out the eyes. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to practice blending. And so I ended up getting one of these, which doesn't look as good to me. It looks smooth and rendered out, but I don't like it. It doesn't feel very stylized. So this was my second work. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go a little bit looser. So that's when I got the other one. Mikori says, to be frank, you could make a webtoon with that style. Would just take you longer to make and keep. Yeah, for sure. Also, webtoon or not, yeah, it will be a lot longer. I don't know. I do want to be faster, but we do need a story, right? Just like making games, story is the difficult part, I think. Oh, what if we make story for Dread on Arrival? What if there's a webtoon for Dread on Arrival or Blood is Mana? That could be interesting. Tremo says, hello, how are you doing? Doing well. We just kind of concluded some of our Twitch integration game, which, by the way, if you're on Twitch, you can redeem your berry points to get your little berries, little gachapon. But we were just talking about me getting into art recently. Even though I'm a game dev, I do enjoy pixel art. I enjoy all of these. And so I was thinking like, oh man, I enjoy reading webtoon as Korean myself. You know, I read it when it was on Naver, which was before it became webtoons.com. Or not, it didn't become it, but they have a global version now. So I'm the OG, you know. But I've always had interest in what do you call stuff like that. So we're just talking about it, I think, a little bit. Yeah, 25-bit long. You have to redeem plant seed first before watering them. Your points are refunded. Under the redemption, there's a plant berry folk seed redemption. There's a plant berry seed redemption. Oh, I pinned your message by mistake. Unpin this message. Silent Noob says, I agree, my art 3D Blender not outstanding isn't faring well, but I'm undeterred. Drawing it is a passion. Yeah, drawing is fun. I like the improvements I'm making, but I do know that that can only go so far. I do wish I wasn't red-green colorblind. I mean, it makes sense. I don't know if you guys have this. I don't know if it's because of my color blindness. There are certain type of reds that just glows like fluorescent to me. Like the reds look fluorescent in that it glows sometimes in real IRL if it's not digital screen. And that, I was like, oh, is that because of my lack of red cone? That's what happens? Like it's over, my cone is overloaded. I don't know. But because of that, I have always had issues with like vibrant color, I think. At least like drawing it. For some reason, every time I draw something, it's getting better now, but it tends to be like very like muted, not as high contrast. I mean, it could be a conscientious effort, but I'm making more effort to be more contrasted. But even then, after I finish whatever I draw, I still have to do level adjustment to pull the dark and the whites out a little more. But yeah, anyways, render tip. I have no render tip, just patience, I guess. Don't zoom in. Don't zoom in when you're placing shades. That's my tip for myself, at least. I think that's the best technique that's worked so far for me, at least. But yeah. I don't know. I do want a story. I mean, I used to have a lot more story ideas in my head, but now maybe it's because I'm older. None of the stories seem like enticing. You know what I mean? Also, I am terrible with drawing clothes just because I only know what I wear. So I need more research on that, probably. I should probably do that. Da, da, da. What does this? What is this giving? It kind of feels like ocean from up when you're looking at it from the top, doesn't it? Has a feeling. Oh, we went to, my friend was visiting around here, so we were I was showing them around, and we went to the little waterfront, and it was like a beautiful golden hour with the sun reflecting off the water, and I just looked at it and I was like, oh my god, that looks so fake. Like the water reflecting, and then the way the calm waves were like moving, it just looked like a shader. The the world looked like it was just applied by shader. I was like, whoa, weird. Cooley says, I feel that. Voice says, I haven't painted digitally before. Digitally feels better for me, just because I can always undo or just throw away. Throwing away finished work is very easy, you know? You just toss it and it's gone. Silence says, what are you drawing and are you using mouse? I have no idea what I'm drawing, and I'm using stylus. It's a Cintiq 16. Cintiq, yeah. I don't have enough display port on my laptop, so the screen, I'm not using a screen right now. But yeah. Silent News says, for Clip Studio, are you using a mouse? No, I'm not. I use mouse for pixel art, but typically for painterly stuff, I don't use mouse. I don't think I would be able to move like this if I was. But yeah. What am I drawing? Yeah, I don't know. But it does kind of look like ocean view, doesn't it? I see it. What good is that? I don't know. It is not good. It's kind of useless, actually. I'm definitely a... Silent Noob says, look like smoke. I could see that too. Background coloring is just for background coloring. It's not even anything important. But let me think here. How about... Okay, I got it. We can go really dark here, right? Like so. I think people call this underpainting or something like that, where you just kind of put the colors in general. And let's say maybe the moonlight is like pretty intense. And I suppose if I say light source is going to be more like... Maybe purple can be more of a light source here. Where would that come from even? Somehow. From the bottom? Source of magic. Maybe the magic source is what's causing the light. That's the case. We say we're going to have some sort of face. Just shaping it out. Oh, we need music, don't we? This is a chill session today, it seems. So we're going to put some music on. Silence says, looks like night sky. Perfect. It does look like a night sky. I almost feel like I want to make a different YouTube account for painting, though. I know I lose a lot of audience when I do painting on YouTube, because it's completely unrelated. But alas, I do what I do here. Let's see. I'll say art today. And then I guess I'll go to art category today. Arts There you go. Boom. Silent Noob says painting Ezra. Yeah, I still answer technical questions. How about that? Voice says, let me grab my tablet and do some code drawing too. Yeah, perfect. Should we use some sort of reference or do we want to just do the same thing? Same feeling. Okay, how about this? We're going to do some theme. I'm thinking about my Blood is Mana character. So something like moonlit, serious, almost like semi-villain or dark hero type of feel, but in a very like mystique and night type of way, right? Okay. Hold on. Let me put some music on though. If this would load. That's at least what I'm going for right now. Or that's what I'm thinking about. Background, I guess. Lo-fi. And mood. Let's do peaceful. How can it be peaceful and serious? I'm not really sure. Cotton Cloud sounds fun. Okay. Then we'll adjust the volume. Okay, how's the volume? Not too loud? As long as it's not distracting. It's kind of loud for me, actually. Also, the beat is a little bit weird on this one. I'm going to move on. Silent Noob says, working from imagination is tricky for us noobs, and I know a thing about being a noob. Your name is Silent Noob. Yes, I get it. I mean, I have to say, imagination is hard still, and I am a noob as well. I'm not going to lie. But I did get used to drawing a face several times. So at least construction-wise, I think I know what I want to do. I do think that it needs to be more than just straight on. I do think that it needs to be angled down a little bit. Like that, right? And I'm thinking it's going to be facing down. Somehow. Maybe position it a little bit further out so that it feels a little bit more balanced. I try not to use movement tool because as soon as you use the little move tool, the speed paint doesn't look as good or as impressive. Not that we're doing it for speed paint, but you know. Not sure what the hair situation will be, but maybe it'll be kind of redder, darker, maybe. I do think some sort of like it's like puzzling right now. It's like, what is happening here? I think it might be semi-profile. And then a lot of reverse light, a lot of serious lighting. I know a lot of people use lasso tooling here in this situation, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. This so far looks like head is turned back, so I need to adjust this, I think, to more like this, right? And then Something like that. I always get surprised by when everything starts to become a shape instead of just like a random blah on a screen. I'm still searching for that shape right now. Oops. Not really sure what it's gonna be exactly. Not yet, at least. But I'm looking for the silhouette. Reference probably helps a lot, but too lazy to pull up a reference right now. Something. Something like that. Feel like it's starting to shape up. And then maybe, you know what would be cool if there's like a cold breath comes out, but then it's like mostly dark, but you only see the highlight of the breath. So it's like, but then like the highlight of the breath is like really kind of like pink / purple thing. That'd be cool if I can get that going somehow. I mean, at least that's the idea. Can I do it? Not sure. I mean, it dissipates as it goes up, so I think it's probably something like that. Let's see. Maybe there's like a bunched up hood here, still a traveler. And looking down. I think that's the idea. And I'm going to start to shape up the face here a little bit. Trying my best not to get caught up on the details here. Too much, at least. And I think, even though it's side profile, I do think there's a benefit in turning the hat in a little bit so that the forehead isn't like huge. And of course, if we're saying this, I do think that the shadow could be like something. Yeah. So let's, I'm going to mute this down to like, to see where I think all the shadows are. I know it's a little bit desaturated red, which ends up looking green in the little blue zone, but this is kind of part of the process, I think. A little bit. Starting to take shape, I think. Like over here, you can kind of see it. Maybe. Maybe? I don't know. Give it a little plastic surgery on the nose. I also try to work with big brushes as much as I can. Once again, because I think it's really easy to get obsessed with the details. Which sometimes, well, a lot of times, ends up taking the painting away from the just overall idea of what the shape is about, you know? Silent Noob says perfectionist. Looks like they're smoking. Perhaps. It's a possibility. Hello? Who's pressing the icon? Do I... This is like just spamming reactions out here. Okay. Silent Noob says working for machine. Yeah. Perfectionist. Yeah. I mean, you don't want to be too perfectionist. I mean, there's a benefit of being a little bit of perfectionist, I think. But time and place once again. Okay, so we got, let's say, I think like you can catch a little bit like that, right? The eye, because the upper eyelid is still facing away, but then the little brow bone catches light, but also it turns away softly, right? Am I crazy? I think that's true. Also means the bottom part of the face, like the eyes, does catch some of that light, I think. I do think. So I'll give it a hint of that a little bit. I'm just trying to make sure I see the whole picture. I really need a reference, honestly. I can already tell this has a huge potential for turning like terribly. All right, what about the nose? We got the bottom of the nose, so that little triangle zone catches. So it's like this, right? And then the bottom of the cheek, like the cheek line from the nose to the face. The upper lips kind of exposed. There's a little bit of reflected light. This probably is more like this. I'm not really sure if I like this shadow color. What do you think? Maybe for the boundary, it's okay. Because you know the whole like subsurface scattering. If you're not exposed to the light, you see more of the original color, I think. I think that's the idea, at least. At least that's how I understood it. So that means you will see more of the red before the light takes over again, I think. Something like that. Does that look like a face yet? Can't really tell. And then maybe some of the rim lights take care of this a little bit, I think. And then the hairs. I'm thinking it's like probably brunette-ish. But you know, I don't know why this is so clean. Maybe it's tucked away cleanly. Maybe that's the idea. The hair is like tucked really cleanly behind one of the ears. Not really sure if the ear position is correct though. Who cares? We don't want to, once again, sweat the details too much, I think. And then the other hair, just kind of given up a little bit because I want it to look. One side is tucked, and other side is a bit messier. But how far down does it go? I guess that's also the question. Right? That looks kind of facey, I think. Uh, Irla says, "Hey, bro, can I ask you something? I'm trying to start a career as indie game dev. I can pretty much create something basic, but literally can't find anything. I create something like a MVP and stop." By the way, sorry for bad English, lol. English is not my first language. No, it's okay. What are you, I mean, I guess career. So you want a job, right? I mean, first thing is definitely obviously looking at what tools that they're looking for in terms of experience, though it doesn't matter as much. Like they know, everybody knows in the industry that if you know how to code, you know how to code. You definitely want to look into interviewing and see if you can reach out. I would always say reach out to people on LinkedIn who's in the job field that you're interested in. Ask. If you're nice, I think most people are kind of willing to answer, being like, "Hey, like I'm interested in the industry. I have been working on this. I really wanted to work on this company that you're in. I was just wondering if there is something that I should know or be aware of." And I think most people would be like pretty accepting of those type of ideas, I think. Fortunately, unfortunately, tech industry is mostly just what do you call interview and tech interview and connection to get you in the door, I think. Sometimes you can find a recruiter who's in the field. I think that could be good too. This is a little bit out of the light, so I think I'm going to go more back to the cool. So we're going for this light, so we're going to go cool, desaturate it, and darken it quite a bit to bring this in maybe even more. Like so. And so this goes like that. Maybe the boundary is a little bit like that. Kind of blend it out so I have a better color here. Then I'll choose this. I mean, that's my take. Now, of course, I come from, okay, maybe there's somebody else in the chat who's in the game industry. I come from the software engineering background. So most of my job takes are in the perspective of getting a job in just kind of software industry in general. Now, so I don't know. This feels a little messy, but I think I'm going to try to fill this color in a little more because some of these blended part feels a little bit messy and muddy to me. Like it doesn't know what it wants to be, what color it wants to be. So I'm going to color over it to lock in the colors, because I've noticed that that's what happens to me a lot in the beginning of my when I was just starting to learn again to paint. And my biggest frustration has always been this, like when I'm rendering or when I'm coloring, things starts to become like really muddy, and that's because I can't, like I don't yet have the ability to separate the shade and light cleanly. And so I try to, after deciding what each of the colors are, I try to solidify it a little bit. All right, I think I'm gonna go over darker color to actually lock this down. Dark Mage. Silent Noob says, looks like the smoke is a light source. He said he can't finish projects. Oh, my eyes glow in the darkness. Oh, it's true. The eyes do glow in the darkness. I mean, I don't know if not finishing a project is ever a problem, as long as you have something that you can show for it. Like you can have, well, I guess you do want to finish some project because portfolio is important. Maybe that's your first step, getting that portfolio in, locked in. Okay, my first zoom. I'm still a little afraid of zooming in, but I'm gonna make sure I don't zoom in too much. So obviously, this is receiving some light, but I think the lips. And then there's a little bit of surgery going on here. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Potentially, right? Chin curves back up. So you don't really receive the light outside of this, I think. And then you see a little bit of light source here because it's like little bulb down. No, but this part is the upper part. So this one catches light, right? It's just like a reverse of what you would see if the light source was above. And then you get a little bit of light like this. Smile line. And then you have one of these things going on. And then the chin still catches it. As it fades away, it blends in, I think. You like how I'm touching my face to understand how face works? You would think that I know what face look like. I think that's good. Upper lip being a little bit dirty is okay. Maybe I could tone it down. Feels a little bit cleaner. Starting to shape this out a little bit more. I think. Got this. Feel like something's happening here. I don't know if you would actually have a nostril in this case because the light is going into it, but it's not bad, I think. It doesn't look half bad to have it. Right? Oops. I'm trying here. This nose definitely feels way too big, so I'm going to fix this a little bit. I'm going to have to do some surgery down here. Let's see. Irla says, Silent Noob, yeah, I watched a GMTK YouTube series about how it's to create game. I might watch it again to regain some inspiration. I think that most part of me not finishing my project are more like, oh, I don't have experience to finish. I want to finish this game. You know what? That's part of it, though. I mean, that's when you're going to learn the most. When you say, hey, I don't know how to do this part. Let me figure out how to do this, like, to get to the finalization. Because you do need that experience. You do need to finish, as in, like, you need to get to a point where you learn those things, that what it takes to finish, you know? The things that you need to finish. Definitely need that practice. I don't know how I feel about this. Don't know how I feel about this drawing just yet. So you'd have this thing going on, right? And then you still have this thing going on. And then this one grabs like that. And this curves in. More blending, blend, 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 blend. And then where else does it catch back again? I do think that I need to make the boundaries darker because I do want to make it so that this part is brighter color. So we're getting back to the warm desaturated color. So we go here. So if I did something like that, like I want the big surface to still catch that, right? So like so. Not really sure. I'll have to think about it. Mesh Tour says, "Hey Ezra, hi Mesh Tour, welcome back." Just we're having a little painting sesh. Not exactly game development, but I think we're okay with it. Is the conclusion we have come so far. This nose bridge comes up. This is a boundary, so I think there is some sort of like there's a outer flare that goes in like this, and you see more light here, and the rim itself will catch probably a highlight later, but this bulb right here is gonna look more buried like so. Of course, we're going to go for a little bit more like intense light down here, probably at the end. Later, I mean. Yeah, I don't think the outer part catches. Maybe that's what's catching the light. We'll see. I'm really doing it the hard way, trying to like feel my own face to figure this out. Silent Noob says, "Curious, Ezra, do you see our emoji things and their numbers?" I don't know what you're talking about. I do see somebody spamming clicking the little reaction button on YouTube chat, like the hearts. I'm seeing somebody spamming heart here and smile. Ireless says, "Even though thanks, I appreciate the help." Yeah, no problem. We try our best. I know situation is all different, but oh, that was a mistake. But yeah. I don't know though. Nose bridge does dip in pretty hard, doesn't it? So if we say this is the brow line, let's say we give it some brow. This person. So if we're assuming this is the nose bridge, from the bridge is a top of the eyelid, and then this ledge right here, this ledge that's catching the light, right? That's like this, technically. And probably we want to keep this like that. We want to put the brow here, I think. And then you go like that. And then depending on how the face is structured, it hugs the outside and then goes down like that, for example. And we probably will have to change this lighting a little bit. But the idea is this catches light. And then the bridge cuts out pretty harshly to keep that. I think this is like a hard line instead of soft line. And so you see this. But it does go in here, so there's some sort of like lack of light inside. Right here still. Yeah, something like that, I think. Looks appropriate. I might be crazy here. And then I guess it depends. If we say, hey, we have a nose structure here that is extended like this and then like this. Oops. Then we say it goes like that. That means the eyes, if I were to actually draw the eye here, it would be facing forward. Like so. Like opens up in the front, right? Like that. If it's open, I guess. That means this part doesn't catch. Then you have one of these things going on like that. I think. Let me solidify this color again. Axel says, hi, artist Ezra. Hi, Axel. I already said hi to Mej Tour, right? Hey, nobody kicked me. Steal my crown, someone. Sebastian says, something algo que este hombre no haga bien. Something good. Hombre? Is that friend? I don't know. Sorry, I don't speak Spanish. Okay. Maybe the ear needs to be higher, honestly. What do you think? Like, it needs to be like this. Right? Because the eyebrow's like here. I think so. The nostril feels a little bit too low too. So we're going to fix that. I think it needs to carve in more. One. It needs to be up here more. What do you think? Yeah. And then like so, maybe? I don't know. Something about this feels all kinds of funky, but it's probably because of the fact that there's supposed to be light coming from the bottom, which makes the nostril interesting. Something like that, I think. Let's see. Can we get the eyes to glow more? I do think that the iris would glow. So just for the sake of being able to see what I'm drawing or what I'm targeting, I'm going to try to draw out here the actual thing that's happening. So we got this here. So I'm going to make a new layer here. We have this here. Then we got this going on. And then we're saying this is basically looking forward. And then we're going to have something that bends down. And then still circle like that, I think. And then it's going to be something or something along the lines of this. A little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. Set back, and then this whole thing will glow. Right? that means you have this line like that. That goes like that and goes like that. So this part needs to be drawn to light. And that makes me think that even though this is facing down like so, perhaps all of this needs to be in the shadow. And maybe even perhaps up to this part. I think. Hi, Tony. Silence says, let me translate. Is there something this man doesn't do well? Thanks, I appreciate it, Sebastian. Might be wrong. Can't you add a reflection on iris? Definitely need reflection iris, but I do think it has a stronger effect. So for example, we say, what I want, I think, is, let me do this real quick and show you what I mean. So let's say you have something like this. And then because the environment light is this, we're going to bring this out. It's still a little gray. So we do one of these things, right? Like so. Your shadow is catching this, so we see this. And then the iris itself, for example, if we go for this, one of these things, I like the idea of it like, honestly, even like bringing this even darker. So like there was like internal reflection eyeball thing happening. You know what I mean? I just find that very like cool design in general. Like if there was something like this. And so you would see, I think, a lot of glows that are like on top like that. And then you would see really dark bottom. And I guess if we were to merge this out, which I guess I could, here, let me fill in some of the shadows and then we'll merge it. So we do this. So for example, we do one of these things. Something like that. Let's say we do this. And then I do think puff up, so maybe the bottom part catches a little bit, but that's like detail work. Like this is detail work. Then you have one of these. I'll get rid of some of these lines now. And then just going to take this as a general guide, not as gospel. Then I guess I could, here, let me color this to be a really dark red so it blends better. Oh. So we'll bring this out. A little creepy. Does the eye have to be bigger, you think? I don't think so, because there's a cheek that goes like that. let's say we do a lot of these coloring like so. I think it looks okay. What do you think? I think people call this OC in the industry. This is my OC. Okay. Silence says, what does Ezra mean? What do you mean? Ezra's just my name. Like the meaning of the name. I know there is a meaning of the name, which I think in Hebrew, I do believe it means helper. So technically, me making like tutorials and lessons are actually namesake. At least that's how I understand it. Not sure if it's true or not. I do think that it can come up more like that. So for example, if I go like that. Right? And if I'm actually rendering this out, obviously you could go something like that and just put or like that. And then it has a little glow like that. But for now, you think the... Okay, I see what you're saying though. You think the glow should be pink is what you mean. Then I'm going to put something really dark. Like so, I think. And then we're going to fix the light or fix the... Probably need to fix some of these things here. I think. Please, yes, lovely. Okay. To match with the rest of the thing. I get it. And then I do think what we can do here. Okay, I'm in the, what do you call? I gotta be careful here. I'm getting into the over-rendering territory. I'm not supposed to be this zoomed in, but I am. And that's a mistake, I think. Gotta be careful here. Do you think... inside... Yeah. Sorry. That's how I figure out what's going on with the anatomy sometimes. I do think that the bottom part of the eye still needs to catch some of these like light like that. And I think I do need to still make this top part darker. I gotta be careful here. Almost. Good enough, honestly. I guess the slope you see on upper lip shouldn't be so dramatic to cause this like the entire shading. Maybe only at the edge here, but rest is actually resolved, I think. So you would see something like this more like. So you see hint of shading here. And then I guess you could just go whoop. So you see just a tiny bit of hint of shading. I also want to make it so that not the whole thing is colored like this. Let's say bring it to here. Maybe give it a little bit of variation here. So like if I have this, for example, right? And if they have to shift, I'm gonna clean this out a little bit. I'll hit that pink light shift on the tips, I guess. Like so you see. And you see the dark colors deep inside. The deepest part will receive that. And you see a little bit of hint of color. And then you see again. Once again, I gotta be careful with over rendering, so I'm gonna try to blur this out a little bit. Maybe, I think. You have a mustache, yes. Give mustache. It's really hard because, like, thing is, technically, it's supposed to be shadow there, but definitely the shadow makes it look like there is a mustache. It's a little tricky. Maybe if I blend it out a little bit, it's a little bit better. Like so. Because this is okay. It's like I do feel like there needs to be a hard line. And then a little bit of that shadowy dirt down here. And this is like the tricky part, I feel. That's definitely a shadow area. Not really sure what to do. I don't want to do too much. Like, this is okay, but we do want to close it out. Like so, right? I'm just having a hard time seeing the contrast between these two colors. A little messy. Something like that. I don't know. We'll see. Hi, Laughing Umbro. Welcome. Silent Noob says transition is harsh. Yeah, it is harsh. Especially because I can't really see red. And I know for a fact that this is probably some sort of red. I do think that this needs to be a hard edge. Because the plane change is pretty dramatic. But maybe this one needs to be softer. I don't know. It's hard to tell. And if I look at it from the side, it's a little bit different too. Who knows? All right, somebody who can see color can fix this. Not my problem. Let's see. I don't know. I feel about gradient because I don't want it to be too gradual. I definitely want to make sure that the boundaries are not too soft, I think. Let's say this is the case. I think I can still have something like that. I mean, that's definitely harsh. Does it need to dip in more? I don't know. I think this is the best I can do. Honestly, to me, it doesn't look too terrible. I would say this is my best ability. You could probably do some more here. So like, oop. Something like that. I don't know. Perhaps. What if I merge the front? Up the level. Oops. Maybe tone curve is okay. Never tried tone curve before. Oh, I see. Okay. Then we can fix the background a little bit. You see the vision though, right? Laughing on Breast says, is this for a project or just practice? Um, I guess it's kind of both. I mean, I was thinking like, oh, I wanted to practice painting, and then I also thought, you know what, Blood is Mana is something game that I'm working on, so might as well also think about the kind of general illustration and all that. But, it's hard to tell. My gosh. I have to go like almost just black in order for it to write anything. It's like already really dark. Um, maybe this doesn't have to be so pink. A little messy, but you know what? It's okay. Oh, okay. Bye, Silent Noob. Thanks for hanging out. Ominous. I don't know what you did, but I see what you meant. Okay. Yeah, I'll have a good one. Yeah, bye. Where voices? Ooh, looks awesome. Thank you. A little trick. I tricked the system to what do you call? So I had a lot of details that I didn't draw, and I was like, you know what? If I make all this dark part really dark, dynamic range says I don't need to draw the dark part. You wouldn't be able to tell. Anyways, so what we're gonna do now is probably do a little bit of color dodging. I think it's a desaturated highlight, and it shifts towards the color. So we could probably bring it up. Okay, good. So I just need to just do a little bit of that, a little bit of that. So it feels like there's a bit of a glow there. Right? So we got this versus this. Is that too dark? What do you think? Should we mess with the contrast a little bit or level? Oh, that's... Yeah, that's too intense. Yeah, I think this is good enough, honestly. I don't want to like bake it anymore. Just tiny. Hold on. What if I do... Yeah, that's not going to work. Screen might work. Yeah, color dodge is the best one, I think. Just a tiny bit. Special says, did you go to university? When did you get into coding? Yeah, I mean, I did coding in college, yeah. That's where I learned, basically, for the most part. All right, good enough. I went to college for computer science, and that's how I got into like coding and big tech and all that. Not for gaming though, or not for game development. Game development is my own thing. I got into coding when I was really young, but I didn't really do much with it until I went to high school and I had my first coding class in high school. That was a long time ago though. Let's see. I guess nobody's able to get me. The delay is too much, I guess. All right, let's see the X time lapse real quick. Hopefully that does something. Should be a little longer. 30 seconds is a little bit too long, right? There you go. Yeah, no problem, Sebastian. All right. Good enough. Could be better, but, you know, small increments, changes, and improvements is where we're at. Let's see. Dark Mage. MP4. I don't know. I don't know if it's because my eyes used to the lightness, but I do feel like there's part of me that's like it's really hard to see. But it's got that intense mood, which I like. So I'm going to call it done. All right. That was fun. A very different game or very different stream today. But it's okay. You know, we do everything here. I got to focus on making some tutorial contents now. So we'll see. We'll see. I am behind in terms of content making, video making here. So hopefully we'll get to it. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. I know, you know, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I enjoyed being here today, as I always do. Let's find a person to stream out to or raid out to. Let's see. Adam raided me last time. Oh, we haven't done Hypnotic in a while, though. Luffing says, thanks for the stream, Mr. Ezra. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate everyone being here, regardless. And I wish everyone good luck. All right. Yeah, no problem, Void. Thanks for watching. See you all. Bye.